Famcast Media, bitch.
Seriously, what the hell is going on with the Dalai Lama? Good evening, demons and demonesses. Kwame Wahkan here, and today I want to talk about something that's very disappointing, very shocking, and very, very disturbing. Now, this story was sent to me by my co-host, Scribble. Now, if you guys have been, watching, other channels that are part of Famcast Media, one of them is the Psycho Head Blowout. He has a new podcast out right now called the S&M Underground, which they basically review like old school rap albums and a lot of underground and independent, rap albums. They have a new episode out right now, so check that out. I'll leave the link in the bottom of the screen and also right up here in the top. But anyway, he sent me this story, and like I said, I think he knew that I was going to say something about this because, prior to, discovering Satanism, I also dabbled in, Buddhism and Taoism and also Confucianism. But like I said, this is very, very disappointing, both to me and to many people who, followed Buddhism all over the world. Now, this story involves the Dalai Lama, where he asked a boy to kiss his tongue. I have the news clip right now. I'm just going to play it for you guys so you get the full context.
One of the world's best-known religious leaders is apologizing tonight over an interaction with a young boy at a temple in India. That's where the Dalai Lama lives in exile, though the incident has triggered reaction around the world. Here's CTV's chief international correspondent, Paul Workman.
For the followers of Buddhism, to be in the presence of the Dalai Lama is a wish fulfilled. Late in February, as he received a group of students at his temple in India,
"Can I hug you?"
a young boy asked if he could approach the holy man for a hug. What followed was a highly irregular exchange with a child, duly condemned as offensive, alarming, and disgusting.
"Who's here?"
Pointing to his cheek, "First here," said the Dalai Lama, where the boy kissed him as a prelude to a hug.
Finally, here also.
This was followed by a suggestion they kiss on the lips, followed by a third invitation, his words clearly audible.
And son, my tongue.
The boy stuck out his tongue, and there he was, forehead to forehead with the holiest man of Tibetan Buddhism, winner of the Nobel Peace Prize. Leading to an array of outraged reaction on Twitter. The Dalai Lama should be charged with sexual assault of a minor, wrote one. Child predator, vile and shameful, wrote others.
That's not the language that you use in a playful manner. So it's very evidently something which hits you on the face and you're like, why and what has happened in this video?
As reaction to the video accelerated, his office issued an apology. His Holiness often teases people he meets in an innocent and playful way. He regrets the incident. In his parting words, the Dalai Lama advised the boy to pursue peace and love before leaving him with a final hug. Paul Workman, CTV News, London.
All right, so you saw that clip just like I did. And, like I said, it's very disappointing and very disgusting. Now, like the reporter mentioned, he has a Nobel Peace Prize. This is a guy that, is very well respected all over the world, even by people who don't practice Buddhism at all. Even I still had respect for him, and now that respect has dwindled quite a bit. Now, the Dalai Lama claims that he was just playing around, which may or may not be true. I don't know. But, with the way that the world is right now, those aren't the type of jokes that you should be playing with someone, especially a minor. Now, I don't know if this is poor judgment, because the guy is 87 years old, probably has dementia or some shit like that. Actually, let me rephrase that. This is definitely poor judgment. You don't play those types of jokes with children. The parents were there, the cameras were there, and the fact that he was just so blatant about it. Maybe he done this before. I don't know if he did or if he didn't. But if this did happen before, then those people need to come forward and let everyone know exactly what's going on. I mean, I can only hope that he's not abusing children, because let's be honest, this is horrible and nobody wants something like this to be true. But at the same time, as a grown man, he should have enough common sense to know, this is a child. I shouldn't be playing these types of jokes with a child. And think about it. If it was any other religious group, let's say, a Catholic priest or, a Christian, minister, you'd have the same type of outrage. But, you have some people out there trying to defend this guy, saying, oh, well, it was just a joke, or, he's foreign. Nah, we can't have that, not in a society like this. You have so many religious leaders out there that are taking advantage of children, that are using, their positions of power, as a way to, what's the best way to put it? To mask their intentions. They're like, oh, well, I can't possibly do something this bad, or I can't possibly be this evil person because, I'm the head of a religion, or I'm the head of a church, or, I'm a man of God, or something like that. And, you always have to, remain skeptical no matter what religion you're in. I don't care if it's, Buddhism, Christianity, Islam, Judaism, hell, even Satanism. There's even some things that I disagree within, within leaders of the Satanic Temple or leaders in the Satanic Church and things like that. Just because you're part of a specific, just because you follow a specific religion doesn't mean you have to throw out all of your judgment and all of your common sense. Now, if the Dalai Lama were to say something like this, to an adult, I don't think it would, go over as bad as it did because, like I said, this is a child. This is literally a little boy. A little boy shouldn't be playing those types of jokes with a little boy. If this was specifically a joke, I mean, you have cameras around, you're in front of a huge audience. This was very bad judgment on the Dalai Lama if this was supposedly a joke. I guess you can say the Dalai Lama destroyed his career and his credibility with this stupid ass stunt that he did. Unfucking believable. And I don't think there's any amount of apologizing that this guy can do. He's pretty much dead in the water at this point. I'm sorry about this, guys. I'm just really in disbelief about this because this is one of the few religious leaders that I actually respected. You see, Buddhism is like, a non-theistic religion. It's not really as dogmatic as, the many Abrahamic religions. Buddhists, especially, Tibetan Buddhists are, extreme pacifists. So I honestly don't disagree with the messaging and the ideology. But at the same time, there's also, spiritual stuff that's involved within Buddhism. And that's kind of the stuff that, I don't really agree with or, believe in. But, I guess this kind of shows his true colors, never, ever, ever think that, just because someone is a holy man, that they don't have flaws. I guarantee you they all do. Pope Francis probably does too. I mean, I know he issued an apology, but that's no excuse for this type of behavior. When you're around kids, you're supposed to behave a specific way. That means don't be too lewd, don't be too, rowdy, don't say, I try not to use too much profanity when I'm around kids myself because, like I said, these are young, innocent kids. They still have a lot of growing up to do. And, as an adult, you have to lead by example. You have to remain positive because these kids are like sponges. They see you do something and they want to do it. They see you behave a certain way and that's how they grow up thinking, all right, well, if my father's this way or if someone I look up to is acting this certain way, then maybe I should follow them. Now, I don't know how the boy's parents reacted to this. I'm guessing that they're also pretty upset by this. It's sad to see what he did to this little boy because now this little boy, he's probably really confused about it. He probably doesn't know what's going on. He's like, oh, well, this little boy, his feelings are probably hurt really badly by this. You see someone that you look up to and just to be let down like that, it's absolutely crushing, especially, for a child. To put it bluntly, this is an example of a story of never meet your heroes because you just never know when their true colors will show. That's all I got to say about this. Yeah, my daughter is also pretty outraged by this. And to the Dalai Lama, you got to start making better decisions, lad. absolutely unacceptable behavior. All right, you guys, you stay safe, stay metal, hail Satan, and I'll catch you guys later.